Okay, so today this amazing movie came out that I've been so excited for. So the movie, I mean, so from the get, the trailer was amazing. It's a Netflix movie. It's called Work It, and the cast. When I saw the trailer the first time, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I was freaking out. There were all these amazing actors that I recognize from other movies and series. There is Sabrina Carpenter who plays Quinn, and you know her from you might know her from Girl Meets World and from The Hate You Give. There's Jordan Fisher who plays Jake from To All the Boys. P.S. I Still Love You. The guy she didn't pick. There's Liza Koshy who plays Jasmine, who I bet you know her from YouTube. She is amazing. That girl is just wow. And there is, I hope I'm gonna say this right, Kanan Lonsdale. I really hope I say this right and don't mess it up too much. And he plays Isaiah, or well, he calls himself Juilliard. And you can also know him from the movie Love Victor. So this cast is amazing. Like I loved it. I hadn't even seen the movie. I just saw the trailer, which, by the way, the art of making a trailer is a real art, and next Netflix got it down. Like, whoever makes trailers in Netflix, I would love to meet this person one day, because this is amazing. The way they build up a trailer, and then you watch the movie, you're like, wait, what? They mixed it up. Like, they put the end at the beginning and the beginning at the, and how did they do? And it's so good. It's so good. And then this is a dance movie. Need I say more? This is music and dancing and just... Oh, it's so good. It's just so good. So the movie starts basically with one of the funny bits where Quinn messes up the lighting, throws coffee on it, and electrocutes the hair of a dancer. And I love this movie for a lot of reasons. Some things are over the top, like Julia's hair is pink, and I'm sorry, but pink hair, it can look good on people, and it doesn't look bad on him, but the whole team is pink with white, which is a lot. And also in their last dance, for their last dance, I'll just say this. It wasn't that the choreography was that great. It wasn't. It was not basic, but it was basic. I don't know if you know what I mean, but it wasn't that special. But the outfits and the entrance were so extreme and over the top that you were like, wait, wow, what? But then if you look just at the choreography, I was like, how did they get a 9? Because it wasn't that special. It was a lot. Like, the pink outfits of these girls were a lot. But the choreography was okay. It was good. It wasn't bad. It was good, but it was, I don't know. So, yeah, but I didn't like Juilliard Isaiah. Was it Isaiah? I don't know. Just like very fake, very not that over the top is a problem, but very mean, just mean and rude and talking down on people, which is why I get that Jasmine was like, you know what? I'm gonna quit this. I'm gonna be captain of the team that Quinn sets up, and I'm just gonna, and Quinn is like, no, we're gonna set up a team where we build each other up instead of tearing each other down. I was like, heck yeah, that's the way you want to dance. That's a team you want to be on. So I love that. I love that. I love the whole spirit of getting into it. And then also later on in the movie, when they dance together, when they start freestyling together, they're all just laughing and cheering each other on and being happy, and that's a team. You know you're a team when you start to cheer each other on and be happy together and just have fun and, do your own thing and then learn from each other. Like when Jake is like, okay guys, we're gonna learn each other's styles. That was such a fun scene to me. Just to see everybody do their own style and then teaching the others. Because that's how you grow, right? Just learn from everybody around you, and that's how you grow. So, okay. So, Quinn really wants to go to Duke because that's where her dad went, and her dad died when she was 12. And so that's where she wants to go. That's her goal. And I get it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? And when she gets to the university, it looks gorgeous. It does. It looks gorgeous. And she says, like, it feels like home if home had a less than 6% acceptance rate. And I was like, yeah, all right then. And before she gets in, her mom is like, oh, let's just listen to this song. And then, and the song is Get On Your Feet by Gloria Estefan, which is a beautiful song and so catchy. And it's in the car, but also it comes back in their final performance. Like, if you listen carefully, part of the song of the final performance is Get On Your Feet. So that's a beautiful way of them using the love for, like, of Quinn using the love for for her mom and the song, and putting it into the final dance, and then her mom being there, like, at the end, like, I love you, and Quinn saying, like, I love you too, and it being this beautiful moment where it's like, you were in this dance too, you were in this song, you were in this performance too, and I have it thanks to you. So, yeah, it was kind of like Quinn also saying, like, thank you, even though her mom disagreed, because, well, I mean, we all saw the big fight, that her mom wouldn't let her out of the house, which got Quinn to drive, even though she can't drive, which was a beautiful scene, by the way. I mean, Quinn being like, I can't text and drive, I can barely drive, when she just drives off, and her mom was like, get out of the car, don't drive, I'm gonna kill you, and then she's like, okay, but first I'm gonna go dance. and she just, I mean, she drove away, and she drove into the opposite direction on a one-way street, so she basically drove into traffic. Like, the only way that the car would be, passing her, no car would be passing her, every car would be just driving into her if there had been a car. But it's this, like, she wants it, and she wants it so bad that she's gonna do everything it takes to do it, and to get there in time. So, okay, a little bit of going back. So, a movie with a lot of dance and good music always makes me want to dance. And I'm not saying I'm a great dancer, but I like the dancing without their skills part, just having fun, because that's the point of dancing, right? It's having fun, and you can learn the steps and you can learn the choreography, but even if you suck at that stuff, if you're dancing and you're having fun, I mean, that's the whole point, right? Also, movies are a wonderful place to find new music. Like, this as well. There was the song from Meghan Trainor, there was the song from Dua Lipa, and I was like, oh my goodness, these are such amazing songs, I'm gonna look these up. So now I'll put them in my own playlist, and I'll be like, this is amazing. So anyway, when Quinn goes to Duke and she gets her interview, everything she says is on her resume, and she doesn't sound excited about anything at all. About the cello, no, about what gets you, and everybody plays the cello. I loved when the lady, what was her name? Miss Vermires, I think it was something like that. When she's like, everybody plays the cello, and then she the lady asked, like, what gets you out of bed in the morning, and she answers like TED Talks, and and the lady answers like, oh girl, that's sad, and I was like, I like that, just the plain honesty that you don't get a lot these days. Because very often you just get like, But this lady was just like, girl, that's sad. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat you. This is pathetic. Yeah. Well, it was funny. But she said something really cool. She said, I don't want an applicant who checks the box. I want an applicant who can blow up the box. And I don't think Quinn got it. I don't think she got it even when she was on the phone later on in the movie. On the phone with her later on in the movie. But she kind of did, right? Because we or others put us in a box and we live in that box. But then when you blow up your box and you start living outside of it, life becomes a lot more fun. And it becomes a whole lot of cool. So I really liked that. I really liked when she blew out of her box and started doing her own thing. And she was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do me. I'm just gonna do it like this. And yeah, and that, I mean, that only came like further along in the movie when she felt that something, like, you know how you can learn and do the same thing over and over and over again, and then there's this one point where it clicks, and then once it clicks, you got it, and then it just works. It's like, there was this guy who said, like, I tried learning the tango like for 3 months, nothing happened, and then it clicked and it worked and I could do it. And it's this moment. It's like a, you know, like you hit the ceiling, the glass ceiling, and then at some point you break through, and you can fly out of the box, the room, the whatever everybody and you yourself put you in, and you fly out, and I mean, the sky is the limit then, and even that you can go over. So it takes you to a certain point, and then you get stuck, or you are stuck from the beginning, and then you can break out at some point. And that's what she did. She could dance. And I love it. I freaking love it. It made me so happy. So okay. So then, I mean, there are a lot of good parts. There is the dance battle between Jazz and Isaiah. There is Quinn standing up when Isaiah says, like you can't dance, or you might have to start your own team. She's like, yeah, I'll start my own team. And she takes Jazz, and they start their own team, and they take the diamonds in the rough. And I love how Quinn, she's like, okay, I looked up everything you need to be a successful dance team, and I was like, nice. And then she's like, yeah, so a choreographer, a flipper, this, and then she talks about Jake, and she's like, so yeah, Jake, I think it was Jake Tyler that they, yeah, and Jazz is like, yeah, Jake Tyler, everybody knows him. But here's the thing, I feel like there's something about not knowing a certain person that makes you have more guts or care less what they think, and just try to find him. I mean, she found him in the internet. She's like a pro investigator. Like, she could be one of those private investigators, seriously. And then then Jazz is like, you're gonna convince this hot stranger you stalked to choreograph oh my goodness, this word, choreograph your non-existing dance team? And she's like, yeah. So Quinn goes to find Jake, and she looks, I love this, I love this, because this could have been me. She looks over the, like, there's like a see-through plaster, but you can't actually see everything through it. Like, it kind of blurs your vision on the window, and she looks over it, and then he looks at her, and then she looks down, and she kind of like tries to hide, but you can see through it. So it's so stupid. I was like, oh my goodness, he knows you're here. Like, what are you doing? And I mean, because it's still a window, right? So she tries to convince him. First time, doesn't work. She has a list of reasons for him. She's like, 1, a can-do spirit. 2, a chance for you to overcome your demons. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, that works, you know. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, so how about skills? And I mean, he basically razzles her. He's like, you don't look like a dancer, you don't move like a dancer. And she's just like, I don't give up. And then when she walks out, he smiles, because he admires that. Like, that is his strength, you know. She sets her mind to something, even though she can't dance. She's like, I'm gonna have this dance team. We're gonna get to the Work Kid competition, and we're gonna win. And this is like her whole thing. Like, I'm gonna get together a team. I don't know any dancers. That's okay. I have one dancer here. We need music. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. We need a choreographer. I'm gonna figure out how to get one. I'm gonna get the best one. You know, she is like, I have this goal, and I don't really care what you think of me trying to get to this goal. I'm gonna get to this goal. And she can't dance. And so she's like, I mean, even though this whole idea is a little bit of a mess, and a little bit of a, how on earth are you gonna do that? She's just like, hell no, I'm gonna do this. So, and also when they talk about finding dancers, um, they, I love how Quinn is like, we need to find the diamonds in the rough, and then, Jazz is like, the ones who didn't audition, and she was like, oh no, yeah, that makes more sense. um, so they try to convince people, and they work together really, really well as a team, because Jazz convinces them with her knowledge from like, hey, I know you can do more, I know you're better than that, like I know. And at the same time, Quinn is there using her knowledge, like her book knowledge of like Nietzsche, blah 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 blah. I don't even remember, but together they make an amazing team convincing people. And also when they try to convince the guy who can flip, and they walk away, and like Quinn is like, "You will flip again," and I mean it was so simple, but it was so good when Jazz is like, "Catch you on the flip side." I love that one. I did. I am very very simple sometimes, but I love this one. And then Quinn takes a kids class to convince Jake to choreograph her. And she's trying to convince him afterwards with her dance skills. And, I mean, he just can't handle it because she sucks. So, he's like, oh my god, okay, let me show you how to do this. And it kind of works, you know? I mean, when you suck at something, and you know you suck at something, it's fine. So having somebody who knows what he's doing teach you, it's fine, because you know you suck. Like, when you got something to prove because you already have the skills, it's different. But when you know you're terrible, I mean, you got nothing to lose. Which is how she looks at it, which is, I think, a very admirable trait. So, then he steps wrong, and his hurt knee starts aching a lot. So, he falls down in pain, and she looked up how to help the pain beforehand. So, I think it was like acupressure for the knee injury. And I mean, she really did her research, but also she really cares about this thing. And she says like, thank you for teaching me. And, you know, she's got her heart in the right place. And that means a lot to him, and that means a lot to anybody, really. She's just trying to do the best she can. She's trying to make it all work. And she's coming from a place of kindness and gratitude for everything and everyone. And I mean, I really appreciate that. Even when she, you know, when the moment she is like, guys, like the dancing thing is not gonna help me get into Duke, so I need to focus on my grades because they've been getting down because of everything. And then I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, no. And then she's like, yeah, because I promised my mom. She's like, you know, like she wants to get into Duke. This is what she and her mom have been working for. And that is what she wants to focus on. And she's like, but what is basically the other thing that keeps going on is, what is the right thing to do? Is the right thing to do to focus on Duke and get in and, you know, push everything on that? Or to dance with her team and to, you know, maybe not get into Duke, but to have fun and to have this group and to dance, which makes her so happy. Like, what really makes you happy when you look at it? Is Duke gonna bring back her dad? No. Is Duke gonna give her something more? No. Well, I mean, it's gonna give her a great education, I hope. But, I don't know Duke, but still. But there is something more important about having this group that you can be yourself with, that you can dance with, and just being happy, you know, with your people. It's just, it's everything. So, she watches Jake dance when she's just watching, like, him dance, and then they have to come up with a name for the group, and she calls them TBD, to be determined, because she doesn't have a name. And Jake shows up at this first meeting, and he's like, oh, you can, if you pass the first round, I will choreograph you. And he offers the empty dance space, and I mean, it stays so funny to me how the girl who set everything up is the one girl who actually doesn't have any moves for it. It made me so happy, actually. Like, hey, I don't know how to do this, but I want to win this, so I'm going to figure out a way to do this. And that shows that courage and just sticking with something can get you there. And she will never be the best dancer, and that's okay, but she can be a great dancer if she puts in the work and has the right teachers, right? I mean, yeah, I believe so. And you can see that too, right? Like, as I said, like, it's got to click at some point. She can't freestyle. I mean, she's getting better at the choreography, but she can't freestyle in that first time they freestyle with each other. When she has to freestyle, she's stuck. She can't get loose because she doesn't know how yet. And it, it takes time. But yeah, then they make it through the first round, and Quinn texts Jake, and she's like, maybe you could just hide me in the back. And I mean, he's like, I could never hide you in the back. And that's just this little moment where after he says it, he's also like, yeah, I said that. But he doesn't take it back. He doesn't feel awkward about it or regrets it. He's just like, yeah, I said that and I meant it. So I'm just gonna keep it there. I'm just gonna leave it. And then they go watch these amazing guys who are so skilled. They dance like one leg on crutches, or I think one of them is like paralyzed from the hips down. So he dances with the crutches being his legs, and these guys are so impressive. I mean, my jaw dropped. Like, this is amazing. And then Jake realizes that he misses dancing, and he says, when you're not the best anymore, and it basically comes down to, hey, when you're not the best anymore, the thing you do, but if you love it, don't give it up. Like, what are you doing? If you're not the best anymore, you're gonna just quit? No. The whole point of doing something you love is doing something you love. You don't have to be the best. But if you love it, don't quit it just because you're not the best anymore. And he says to Quinn, like, she's like, well, I can't, like, I suck, I can't dance. And he's like, you can't learn to dance by reading a book. So it's not that she can't dance, it's that she needs to practice. And at some point it will just click. She needs to practice, and you can't learn it from a book. You have to do it and do it and do it until you figure it out. So he's like, I think I know how to fix your freestyle problem. And I mean, he gets her, because he is like, you don't have to be in control all the time. You can't think your way through it. You gotta, and all these dance movies keep coming back to this, like, you gotta let the music speak to you. You gotta feel the music. It keeps coming back to that same thing, right? And this is why I like cliches, because cliches are cliches for a reason. Like, there is a reason why everybody says them, because there's a truth in it. It might suck to hear something 100 times, but maybe the 102nd time it will click and you'll get it. And then you'll be like, oh, and then you'll be the person who keeps saying the cliche. So yeah, Quinn is dancing and practicing, and then Isaiah gets Jake fired. And then the whole thing kind of blows up, the whole dancing thing, the whole everything. And then there's the wise woman in the nursing home, who I don't even know if she had a name in the series, but she was like, we all end up in the same place, in a nursing home, falling asleep in front of a crappy TV. And the memories we have are the ones with our friends. Not the things we accomplished. They were the funny, weird moments with our friends. And I was like, yeah. And that's when it clicks. That's when the music starts to speak to her. And she runs to Jake, and they dance together, and they get back together, and they get a rehearsal space in the nursing home. And then the team says, like, nobody believed Quinn was quitting. Like, nobody believes it. Like, no. And then they learn, and then they dance together, and then there's the toilet scene, which is so funny. And then, Jazz joins the team again, and her mom messes it up, so Quinn is too late, and then they need another person, so Jake dances with them, which is amazing, and I think that technically that disqualifies them, and I think that Quinn also said that they won illegally, but it doesn't matter, because when she gets there, Jake sees her, and he gets her into the dance, and she rocks it. She is amazing, and they put every style into the dance, and her mom is so proud of her, and they have so much fun there on stage, you can see it in their faces, and then they win, and it's just amazing, and they're the TVDs, and I love it. I freaking love it. So I love this movie. I am all for dancing and music and dance movies all the way. And I really like the saying, "Dancers are the athletes of God." That made me just proud of them, actually. So last little bits, Miss Vermeer's, and how she keeps getting a job, because I don't know what she did, to be honest, at Duke. But when the security guard was like, like, you gotta get out now, I was like, what did you do, miss? You want to tell us about that? And Isaiah going by his own name again and saying congrats. And I get how Jess and Quinn were like, thank you. Like, what are you doing? Are you sucking up to us? What is this? What is happening here? And then saying that he's changed, and I'm like, hell no, nobody changes like that. Like, even if people change, which is always a question of if, it takes months and years to change. Like, you don't change overnight, buddy. That's not a thing. So yeah, this movie is a must-see. I loved it. I freaking loved it. I hope you watch it and love it too. And yeah, that's it.